The preceding program was brought to you in part by FTD. FTD.com for all of your gift-giving needs. Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti. My guest this evening is Jim Crawford, who's with the Old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club. Sir.
Good to see you, my friend.
You too, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Long time no see. It's been a while.
It has.
What's
new?
new?
Well, it's that time of year again.
It is.
So we are about to have our annual bourbon and brew and a little wine too at the Elks Club.
All right.
And it's a major fundraiser for the Old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange.
Okay.
We have been doing it almost 30 years now, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. Right. And we changed the format a couple of years ago, and in response to the interest in increased public interest in bourbons.
Okay.
And so we have a wide variety of bourbon vendors.
All right.
We have some of the major Connecticut breweries. They're going to be there with their representatives, and then we have some wine also. So it's a little bit of something for everybody.
Nice.
And we've tried to keep the price stable, and it's a great value. We have it at the Elks Club, and they do a great job hosting for us. Paul Champagne is the food service director there, and he does a super job for us.
Okay.
So we get some nice heavy hors d'oeuvres. We get a little live music, courtesy of our musical talented Joe Greco and his friends.
Okay.
Who have been supporting us for a long time. So Joe's got we moved the event to June in response to a need to kind of unclog the calendar a little bit. We had a lot of things that all kind of coalesced right around the middle to the end of May, so we decided to move this particular event to June, just to see if we could capture a little bit different audience than we have in the past.
Right.
And we're very encouraged by ticket sales, and those who are interested in buying them ahead of time, there's a small discount if you buy ahead of time. You can buy them either at the Cordial Shop in Old Saybrook, or at what was formerly the Paint Shop. It's now called the John Boyle Decorating Center.
All right.
Right there on Main Street. Correct. They will have tickets for you too. So
nice.
A little about the Cordial Shop, because they've been so great to us. Nick and Chris Revenikas and their daughter Maria have been stalwarts for us for a long time now. They generously give of their time. They set up all the vendors for us. They do all the legwork. We really just provide the permitting and the paperwork, and they handle all the nitty-gritty inside work of recruiting the vendors and getting them all lined up, set up in pods around the main room at the Elks, and it makes for a nice flow. And then in the center of the room, we have tables set up for folks to gather and enjoy their drinks as well as the food. So,
cool.
Yeah, it works out nicely, and I can't say enough about the folks at the Cordial Shop in terms of their support. It's they ask for nothing really in return. They do obviously hope that folks will patronize them
Right.
as a result, but they're very, very, very generous with their time and efforts. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
If you go, you'll see that Maria has provided a checklist for all of the vendors, so you know exactly what they specialize in.
Okay.
You know what their product is in terms of where it was made, how it was made, how you can go about obtaining it.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's, you know, you get a printed copy of like a brochure
Okay.
when you go in, and if you're inclined to do so, you take notes and decide at the end of the evening what it is you might like to order or you might like to pick up
Right.
when you go to the cordial shop. So,
Absolutely.
as I say, there's a tremendous amount of work goes into that, and just to keep track of all of that administratively is a very challenging thing, and
Oh, yeah.
they're very good at it and very, very willing to help support us. So.
Now, how did the idea of the event come about?
Well, we've been doing, as I said, we've been doing it for almost 30 years, and back in the day, it was proposed by another club who had done a wine tasting back in, I'm going to say it was back in the 80s, late 80s, and they had a good sponsor too, someone that was able to help them. I don't know quite whether it was a liquor distributor or what, but they raved about how much people enjoyed it, and we tried it. And over the years, we've moved from different venues until we settled on the Elks. We actually had one of the last events at the old Dock and Dine, and yeah, so
Wow.
obviously we needed a new venue after that last storm, and we had gone there before the first one. Actually, we'd gone to the Elks, but it's just been, you know, the community comes out to support it.
Oh, yeah.
They know that our efforts are on behalf of the Youth and Family Services
Okay.
agencies in both Westbrook and Old Saybrook. And they know that the Exchange Club of Old Saybrook Westbrook has been around for a long time and has been kind of an anchor civic organization in town
Right.
that has provided the kinds of support to these various charities that over the years have been recognized as very worthy opportunities. So we get a lot of community support, and it's very gratifying.
And now the Exchange Club, you guys only cover Westbrook and Old Saybrook, correct?
Yeah, we actually have some members who are from other towns, and
Okay.
we welcome that. We focus our efforts on the two towns in terms of the fundraising and who we give our money to.
Right.
Although there are some, for example, we do have a program with the Campaigns and Y program.
Oh, sure.
So, you know, there are some charities that benefit from our work, but it's primarily for the Old Saybrook Westbrook community. So we give, you know, if we give a scholarship amount to Campaigns, and we expect that to be used for Old Saybrook Westbrook kids
Okay.
who would like to go. We also do High Hopes, and we've done a variety of organizations around the area. You know, our primary focus is on the prevention of child abuse. So we do a lot of programs that involve young people and support organizations that are very passionate about helping kids and young folk on their journey to adulthood.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's been our major focus, and we'll talk a little bit later about some of our other programs and a couple other ideas we have for fundraisers. But the focus for this particular segment should stay on the Bourbon and Brew. Yeah, and it was very well received when we moved to that.
Okay.
We found that we drew a little bit younger crowd because we had mixed it up a little. There are a lot of organizations do wine tastings,
Right.
and the key is twofold. One is to have the most and the best variety possible, but the other is to make sure that you time it correctly so you're not overlapping with other organizations.
Exactly.
You know, so it was, I think it was a smart move on our part. We'll find out to move to June, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And obviously there's a whole different dynamic in the Shoreline community once the end of June comes around and kids are out of school, and people tend to gravitate down here a lot more. So
Now, is the date always June?
no, it's not always June. This is our first shot at June, but it's always a Friday.
Okay.
And that we found that to work out best because we started at 5:30. It goes to 8, with the idea that if folks want to, there's still the evening hour for dinner.
Exactly.
And you know, if they want to just go light on the hors d'oeuvres and sample as much of the product as possible, and they can either stay there at the Elks and eat, or they can go out and you know, if you have a member who you're with who's an Elk, then you can stay. If not, you can certainly go out to dinner. Yeah,
definitely.
so it works out nicely.
It does.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah. And you know, the locale, the venue is beautiful. So
it's beautiful.
if you catch a nice night, it's just people go out onto the deck, and because it starts at 5:30, it's light, beautiful sunset, the whole deal. And we've been very fortunate to over the years have pretty good weather, so that we haven't had to worry too much about being confined or being closed in on a venue that's kind of precious. You can't see.
Exactly. Would you mind sticking around for another segment?
Sure,
All right,
of course.
we'll be right back.
If you don't wear your seatbelt in every seat, every trip, you're not a passenger. You're a projectile. Don't just buckle up. Buckle everyone. A message from the Connecticut Department of Transportation.
Roofing scams tend to pop up after big storms. Better Business Bureau Scam Tracker often receives reports of shady, free roof inspections. Get your insurance company to inspect your roof and verify the need for repairs or replacements. And beware of unsolicited offers. Many scams begin with a contractor who just happens to be in the area and notices your roof or home appears to need repairs from the outside. Legitimate roofers may also be in the area, so be savvy enough to check bbb.org and do your homework before hiring.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Jim Crawford from the Old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so first segment we talked about bourbon, brew, and a little wine too.
Yeah.
So let's open up this segment talking about the Exchange Club and exactly what you guys do.
Yeah. So as I briefly mentioned, the national attention or focus is on the prevention of child abuse.
Yes.
And there are, throughout the country, many prevention centers or places where folks who may encounter difficulties can get relief. So they can go and have a safe location. There are two in Connecticut. One's in Rockville, and the other one's down in Fairfield County.
All right.
And our focus as a local club is to, as I said, support youth programs and agencies in our two towns.
All right.
And the Bourbon and Brew gives the money to the Youth and Family Services agencies.
Sure.
We do a road race in August, and we're coming. I think we've done it more than 10 years now, and we're doing it now in conjunction with the Greater Old Saybrook Chamber.
Yes.
So we have been able to expand the scope of that road race by embracing all of those wonderful partners in the chamber and their network. It's made it very successful. Routinely, we're over 200 runners. We've been as high as 400.
Right.
It's down at Saybrook Point, down by Monument Park. And as you well know, you help park cars for us.
Yes, I do.
We have a very large group of people who enjoy the run because it's in such a beautiful location.
It is.
The run itself goes through North Cove, and it's a 5K.
Yeah.
And the beauty of that is that the money raised there goes to the scholarship fund.
Yes.
So in Old Saybrook and Westbrook, at each of the high schools, the staff chooses an individual each year to receive something called the ACE Award. And ACE is an acronym for Accepting the Challenge of Excellence. So some organizations give away Youth of the Year scholarships to the top
Yeah.
students, whether they're academic, athletic, or both, artistically talented. This particular award goes to that student who is graduating with their class in 4 years and has overcome some social, emotional, or physical handicap.
Okay.
So it's a whole different audience. We have kids that have won the award that have just blown us away with their stories and their resilience and their ability to meet the challenges of day-to-day life, to cope and to succeed in a way that really is a credit to them.
Okay.
In some cases to their family. You know, we've had individuals whose parents passed away, kids who've been in automobile accidents. They've had a challenging disease. They've had some kind of an accident that created a physical issue. They've had all kinds of emotional trauma. So it's really a rewarding thing. And actually, day after tomorrow, Wednesday, we will host the ACE Award again at Luigi's. And we'll have the parents and staff members from each of the high schools who are there to support those students. This year we have a male and a female winner. And we give them a check, and the check is usually based on the success of our road race, and it allows us to help them. And I think at this point it's important to emphasize that if a student's going to a four-year college, we're fully aware of what the cost is that kind of thing.
Exactly.
But this is really more about the attention and the recognition of the achievement that these students have accomplished.
Okay.
So the money's kind of incidental. I mean, it might help with books and that kind of thing, or maybe a laptop or a Chromebook or something like that. But the recognition is the thing that really resonates with these winners, and they're very grateful because in some cases they might not have been called up to the stage for some kind of award,
Right.
because their particular achievement kind of went under the radar a little. But the beauty of this is that the staff members in each of the schools pick those winners, so they've seen
Cool.
over the course of the 4 years what these students have been able to accomplish under very difficult circumstances. So that actually Wednesday's presentation is one of the highlights of the year for us.
All right.
It's always, you do this because it's the right thing to give back, but when you see this kind of recognition and what it means to these kids, it's very, it's very rewarding. So we're more than thrilled to do it. The award is actually named after a former member of ours, the late Al Winkler, so it's the Al Winkler Memorial Award. And we've had his wife Jean many times come to the event and help not only honor these kids, but to remember Al.
Really?
So some other things we do, a lot of people don't know that we are the ones responsible for the flags on Main Street.
I knew that.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
I was gonna say,
and spreading that word is important because people, oh, well, the town puts them up. No, the town doesn't put them up. And we not only put them up, we support them with monetary contributions, keep those poles and flags in good working order and looking sharp. And that's part of our Americanism pledge, and we're happy to do it. We also give out small flags for kids to wave at Memorial Day.
I was just going to ask, how many flags did you hand out on Memorial Day?
It's usually several thousand.
Okay.
Depends on the crowd.
Were you
the
out
weather
there
and the
running
crowd,
around
but,
and handing
easily 3,000.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So all up and down the Main Street, we give those out on Memorial Day. In Westbrook, we started giving them out at the Westbrook Muster in August, and that works out.
I've heard. I think I've heard that.
Yeah, that works out because, interestingly enough, the Westbrook Muster and the road race always fall on the same day. So we do the road race, and it goes off 8:30 in the morning, and then we do the muster that's off at 11. You've been a stellar performer at that for a couple of years.
You're telling me this why?
Yeah. I want to make sure everybody knows that you do good stuff too, every now and then.
I was going to say every now and then you and I,
yeah,
including showing up at Cohen's at 6:30 in the morning.
That's right. Got to get the bagels for the runners. Yeah. So that's turned out to be a really good fundraiser, and it's really helpful to have the partnership with the Chamber because not only all the other things I mentioned about it, but the Chamber recognition of the Exchange Club of Old Saybrook Westbrook does help elevate our presence in the community. And I'm going to make a plug for membership because it's always important that those of us who are getting a little gray of beard, we constantly need fresh troops, and we've expanded our membership in the last couple of years. Yeah, and we're always welcoming new people. We meet twice a month for most of the year, the first and the third Wednesday at Luigi's, and Lenny DeBella and his family have been just super to us for a long time in hosting our activities, and we're very grateful to him and the family, as they are wonderful contributors to the community in so many ways. They're just really so civic-minded and so generous with their time and their money.
Yes.
So it's been great to have their support. So we'd love to have more folks join us, and the more we have, the more we can do. You wind up in a situation where you can get stagnant and just trying to do what you've always done because you don't have the folks to help buffer some of the difficulties you encounter just physically getting all these programs off the ground and keeping them healthy. So we're always out there looking. Absolutely. And it's fairly easy to get in touch with us. We have a Facebook page out there, and it's you know, it's a simple one to find. So,
And I'm going to jump on my soapbox for a second.
yeah,
If you you mentioned this, so I'm going to just follow up with it about how civic-minded and how community-minded Lenny DeBella is
Yes.
at Luigi's.
Yes.
They're phenomenal. And they've done a smashing job once they did the renovations.
oh yeah,
It's
yeah. Place is it just, you know, it's an awful way to have to do it. But,
yeah, I know.
But it's just,
Trust me, I remember.
yeah, it's just a wonderful refresh, and the upstairs.
It is.
The upstairs room is just beautiful, and that's where we meet. We hold our major functions up there, and
yeah.
that's where the ACE Award dinner will be, and couldn't ask for more. It's really
Now,
really
as far
nice.
as joining the Old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club, are there any criteria that you have to meet?
No, you just have to be eager and willing to help out, and
Okay.
and you know, we have people who come in who have some new ideas, some fresh ideas. Always welcome. We are currently engaged in some long-range planning about some new activities. One of our newer members, generously offers his kettle corn machine, and we use that. Yeah,
Really? I don't know.
we use that to help support some of these sidewalk events they have in Old Saybrook,
Yeah.
and we'll be there for that coming up on, I believe it's the 22nd of June. There's a
The street festival.
street festival in
Yes.
Old Saybrook, and
There
we're
is.
going to be there with the kettle corn popper and
Cool.
by Paperback Cafe.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So
Now, if people want more information, what's the Facebook page?
the Facebook page is really just the Exchange Club of Old Saybrook Westbrook.
Okay.
And it's simple, you know, it's a simple one to pull up, and it'll give you a couple of numbers of contact.
Okay.
And it's as simple as that. And a lot of what we do is word of mouth too. We've got a very strong representation from Essex Savings Bank. We always have historically. They're very generous in offering their employees the opportunities to give back, and so I think we're presently got four members who are affiliated, either have retired from Essex Savings or are currently employed with Essex Savings. So they've been with us for a while, and we represent a wide range of professions, and quite a few of us are retired, but
Right.
teachers and attorneys and accountants, retail owners, financial advisor. So it's a wide range of folk, and that's the way it's meant to be. It's always been a club that has been encouraging business folk in the local communities to join and to help network.
Cool.
So, yeah,
Jim Crawford from the Old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club. Thanks for some time, and we'll see you soon.
we will, Peter. Thank you
All right.
very much.
Thank you. On behalf of Jim Crawford, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time. The preceding program was brought to you in part by FTD. FTD.com for all of your gift-giving needs.